Howdy everybody, it's Amy here from Amy's Sparkly Diamond Painting. How are you doing? Oh, I should say and cross stitch because this is a cross stitch video. It seems like a long name. I need to figure out something more clever. My puppy dogs say hi over there. Mocha is playing with our little Chihuahua and trying to hang out with her, so she's complaining a little bit. She can't see or hear very well, so she gets a little scared, but Mocha's just trying to kind of chill with her and keep her company. Mocha doesn't want to hurt her, but she makes that noise sometimes. But she kind of hangs out here in the corner by my bookshelves behind me where she feels a bit safer. So what do we have here? We have a cross-stitch video, unboxing video. Oh, I said video twice. This is from the company Wattobizz. This is the second time I have done unboxings for this company. I say for this company, I should say from this company, because I am not affiliated with them in any way. This is just my own money that I've spent here. So I showed the first one. I did a max color large size lady with hummingbird fantasy lady, and I've got a few others here, and I mentioned in my monthly review video, if you didn't catch that one, that I need to do this unboxing before September 15th because part of this is a stitch along that begins on September 15th. So Wattobizz is a Canadian-based stamped cross-stitch company, and it takes 2 to 3 weeks usually to get the orders. It takes me just a little bit longer where I live. I've got one outstanding order of just one cross-stitch. It's been a couple weeks now and haven't seen any shipping on it, so it does take a little bit longer. But Wattobizz is a lady in Canada. She runs it herself, so it is a small business. And she does AI art and then has them converted to cross stitches. She also does diamond painting and also crochet patterns. And she sells a lot of her patterns as PDFs if you want to do counted cross stitch instead. So check out Wattobizz. I will put a link below, but I don't have an affiliate code. I don't have a discount code. There may be others out there though who do, so look around for that. So this is the box it came in, but I already peeked inside. So I have 3 cross stitches in here to show you. You can probably see a couple of them there, but this is the box that it came in. So it looks a little beat up, but that's because it came in about a month ago and it's been sitting and waiting for me to unbox this one. So you can get a toolkit, I believe, still, but I think it's a choice where you choose to or not. And I thought I saw one of them had one in there. Maybe not. Okay. We'll just go through them, but a toolkit with these usually comes with a hoop and a little magnetic needle case and a couple goodies to help you stitch. But I'm not sure. That may have changed on what she offers for those, so check it out on her website, and also join the Facebook group because she is very active in there, and they do auctions once a month where you are the only one that gets to own that particular image. But do keep in mind this is all AI art, so that has kind of gone into my decision to order sometimes or not. I have nothing against AI art. I can just usually find artifacts and things that I don't necessarily care for in some of the images, or they look a bit unrealistic. So I'm a bit choosy when it comes to the images that I pick. So I don't order often from them, but I do place orders sometimes. And the reason I placed this one was because it was a stitch along, and there is a separate Facebook group just for the stitch along, which you can check out and join in. It's too late to join the true stitch along, but you can follow along with your own kit. You just may not be officially in the stitch along. When you post images each week for the updates in the group, it probably needs to be one of the images for the actual stitch along, but that doesn't mean you can't stitch along. So I'll explain it once I open my kit here. So this is the image I chose for the stitch along. So she had about a dozen particular images that she had selected that were going to be good for the stitch along. And by the way, they do all come with a project bag, which is nice. So here is the image for the stitch along that I selected here. So we have, of course, a landscape theme with several different colors. So all the ones for the stitch along have 50 colors. And the way this is going to work is each week she's going to draw a random number from 1 to 50. And whatever number that is, you stitch that color on your project for that week. And then at the end of the week, you post your picture showing where you are at that point. And then the next week, she's going to draw another number. Now, you may not finish all of that one color within the week, but you can go back to it later on after you finish. Maybe like this pink I see here, there's not very much. So if I finish that in just a couple days, then I could go back and work on some of the blue or yellow or one of the other colors that maybe I didn't finish from a previous week. So that's the general idea. Well, let's take a look here, because the stitch along does start here September 15th. So it's too late to buy one of the particular kits for the stitch along in time for it to get here for the first few weeks. I'm guessing this is going to go on for 50 weeks, so you could still join in by buying one of these and just being a little bit behind. Or if you don't want to purchase a new kit but have a kit that has 50 colors, or at least 50 colors, you could join in the sense that you could do the same color and just maybe share it to other groups or whatever. So here is a close-up picture without the ring light and the glare of the packaging. So this is a 50 by 40 centimeters, not too big. It is a 14 count and it is 50 colors. And I should also mention with Wattobizz, the size won't change if you purchase a different count, but the number of stitches will. So if I had gotten this in 18 count, it would still be 50 by 40, but would have more detail with 4 more stitches per inch. So that's how it works. You can customize the count. And also you can ask for a max color. So this one, of course, for the stitch along is 50 colors, but you can ask for a max color and she will increase the number of colors to that. So this is the pattern here that shows kind of the stitches there, if you can see that. So this is how it's going to come out. So this is the AI art image, and that's how it's going to come out as a stitch. So that is kind of the pixelated version of the picture here. So I picked this one in particular because I thought it was a little more abstract and I thought it would convert to cross stitch a little bit better. So that looks really good to me. I'm happy to see that. So her patterns do come in nicely printed, good paper here in a book. And you have the pattern here. I'm not going to show the pattern. And then this shows 8 pages and the color list here. So for example, if she draws number 13 for the week, then I will go through and stitch all of the DMC 815 in my picture, since that is number 13. So the images are all very different and some have different amounts of various colors. So this one, color 1 through 32 are all single color, and then 33 through 50 are blends there. So those are the symbols and colors. A lot of pink and purple it looks like in this one. So her floss does come on these very, okay, this one did have the hoop. So this one does have a toolkit. I wasn't sure if I was going to get a toolkit, which the toolkit consists of a nice plastic hoop here. Here's a magnetic needle holder box. Mine is getting full, the one, because I like the size of them, so it does have a little magnet in there. So I started using mine and it is getting pretty full of needles, so I actually do need another one of those. So you get some snip scissors, and then you get this little toolkit here that has needles, lots and lots of needles. We have a stitch ripper. Hopefully you don't need that. Got a couple of the finger guards here, as well as one of these round ones. Oh, and some more needles here. I just felt them. So you got like a little thimble of that style. But the one I got in, my wax was melted, but this time the wax is not melted. So that's good to see. So I've got wax. I've got a needle threader here. And then some more needles here. So plenty of needles. I will put these straight away into my holder. There you go. See? Great. Love the holder. So I got a toolkit. I'm so happy. So I could show it to you. So all those goodies will come for free if you request a toolkit, but I think if you have enough tools of your own, you don't really need to request one. I think it's an optional thing. So here are the cards. Here are the colors. It looks like 50 total because she does put the blends together for you on here. So for example, this one, it's more obvious, easier to see. Color 48 is a yellow and a white blended together. So they are both there. That's cool. So we have all our blends here already put together. A lot of that brown color in this. Lots of blues and browns and autumn colors. I don't know why I didn't realize that 50 different colors means 50 different weeks, so this was going to go on probably a little bit longer than I had first thought about. So I was thinking autumn colors because I'd be starting this in the autumn, but we're going to go through all the way into summer, I would guess. So here is our picture. It doesn't look too bad, too big. It's about 273 by 220 stitches there, so not too unreasonable. And what Sandy does here is she prints 2 legends on hers, and you can cut along this line here and keep this one beside you if you want to put this in a frame or a hoop and don't want to have to refer to the side. You can have this side. And we got more needles here. There's 2 in the fabric there. So I see right off the bat a lot of pinks and purples in the symbols here, but they do look very clear. The ones I usually have trouble with, I mentioned on another video earlier this week, is the green color against the light blue. But I see light blue in there, but I don't see any of the green colors. So lots of reds, purples, and blues in here, but no greens, which is good for me. So it doesn't look too difficult there. You can see not a whole lot of confetti. There are little spots there where some of the plants are, but overall, this one looks pretty easy. I think I shouldn't have any trouble. I was testing out doing a color by color on the jellyfish that I showed in my month in review last week. And it had lots of little areas, some areas like only 3 or 4 stitches of a color, all spread out all over the place, which made it a little bit trickier to do color by color. But this one does not look like that, but I know I'm going to probably not finish some of these colors by the end of the week here in the sky, because I have so many other things to work on that I probably won't finish, but I will join along for the fun. So all of this symbol, there's lots of that all throughout the sky. So that would be a tough week for me, but other ones maybe not too difficult. I see some of these symbols here are scattered a little bit throughout, but it does say, "Thank you for bringing your ideas to life with Wattobizz." She will do requests and try to make images that you guys request. She's branched out more. A lot of her early ones were fairies and ladies, but she's doing more landscapes and other things, as you will see. A lot of flowers, but they have very dark backgrounds, so I haven't chosen. I do like flowers, but not with the really dark backgrounds, because those are tougher to stitch, those black backgrounds for me. But this one, being a 40 by 50 14 count, doesn't look too difficult. And I believe you can buy this image even if you're not doing the stitch along. So if you like what you see here, you can certainly do it. I did find her website to be just a little bit confusing at first. So if you do go to the website, just about every image has other images below it. So if you click on an image like the SAL, the stitch along, it did not show this one on the main page, but if you clicked on like stitch along group, then within there you could click through the different images. So sometimes she has several different images hidden under one image, so it does take a little getting used to there, a little bit of clicking around to look. And if you ever have any questions, Sandy is all the time posting on her Facebook page, but we do have a Facebook page that'll be specific for the stitch along. So if you want to join the group, you don't have to join the stitch along to join into the Facebook group for it, and you can just kind of watch if you'd like and get which color is happening each week if you want to do your own project and stitch along like that. So that is the first one I have to show, and that is my stitch along one. Okay, let's look at these other two, because when I decided to join in and purchase that, I thought, well, I don't want to order just one because they are coming in from printed in China, then coming in from Canada, so it does take a few weeks. So I had eyeballed this image. That one had been around for a little while. I had looked at it before but wasn't real sure, but I went ahead and got it while we were doing an order. Let me pull this one out here. Because I like the weather. So we've got, yep, we still got a glare. Let me get it out of the bag here. There we go. Now you can see it. So we do have a thunderstorm there in the ocean with a ship. It's a pretty common artwork, and some of the ones I saw in this set, there were several, had a couple of artifacts on them from being AI art, but this one did not. So there were some little areas there in the background. It looks kind of like shipwrecked wood and stuff here on the side, but a couple of them were kind of hard to tell exactly what was going on in the background. But this one I thought was clear enough, and I wanted the weather theme here. I like the clouds, I like the lightning and the stirred up ocean, so I went ahead and got this one. It is a 50 by 50 14 count, but one thing I noticed when this came in is it also has 50 colors. So another option I have is that if I finish whatever color is called for the week on that one, I could also do the same on this one. So even though this one isn't part of the official stitch along, it's still a Wattobizz kit. I can still post any progress I make on it, I believe. But again, we have the pixel rendered artwork here, and to me it looks really good. I can see everything. It is full coverage, but I can make everything out. It might be kind of fun to put a little bit of metallic silver or maybe a very light rose gold or something in the lightning to make it really stand out. But it looks very clear to me. So this one also 50 colors. The first 35 are single colors, and then colors 36 through 50 are blended, and this one has 12 pages here. And again, that print, oh, we got another toolkit. I did not realize that. Okay, extra tools. All right, I have more homes for my needles, and it has an inspection number, it looks like, on here. So she does indeed have them printed in China, and it may be painting fairy because this is cotton floss, so I'm not sure about that though, so don't quote me on that. But she does have them printed from a factory in China. So we've got more wax, which is good because that one is also in really good shape, and the needles and the finger guards and all the goodies in this one, and another hoop. So the colors here are a lot more varied than in the last one. We got lots of pretty greens there, turquoise, blue, gold, a lot of different colors. I guess I didn't notice when I looked at it how much of that green is in there. Let's see if we can see where that is. I guess here in the front with those waves. So probably a little bit better to see here. Yes, indeed. So a lot of turquoise through here, and definitely a lot of gold and yellow colors through there. So pretty colors. Especially those, you wouldn't picture these colors being in a raging storm at sea, but there's our lightning, very light yellow and almost off-white there. But we do have everything on here, our blends here, kind of harder to tell unless they're obvious. Like this color right here, I can see the two different colors of peach in there. They just help the picture kind of blend from one color to the next without being rather extreme on the blending. Got 2 needles again on the canvas, and let's fold it out here. Take a look. Now this one, these don't have quite the same border amounts as some of the others do. Probably about 3 centimeters, maybe about a little over 2 inches there for some of the borders. Maybe more than 3 centimeters. Maybe that's 4 or so, but anyway, there we go. This is a square one, 273 or 274 by 274. But this one also being only 50 colors, it's not full of confetti. Here. So I could do my own color by color on this one if I wanted to in the future, or if I finish for the week on the other one, I can pick that same 1 through 50. So if it were again color 13 on this one, it would be 798 that I would stitch. So very nice. And this is the better cross stitch fabric, it looks like. Let me take a closer look here at it. It feels pretty thick, and indeed it looks like the Ida cloth is good quality there. And all the ink will wash off when you're done, so you don't want to get it wet before you're ready to wash it off. But that is the second one that I got. Let me move my tools out of the way here. I don't want to mix up the threads with these, even though I could probably go back and tell by looking at the DMC numbers and stuff. I'm going to go ahead and put one of these in the bag so they don't get mixed up, because this next one is going to have a lot of the same colors with it. So here is kit number 3, and it was another one I had been looking at. So we've got dolphins under the ocean. I love ocean images like that. There, no, I did not want to let go of the bag. This one is darker printing on it. You can see that right away. This has definitely got a little bit darker, a lot more of the purple and darker colors. This is also an 11 count, if you could tell that right away. So it is going to be a little bit bigger. Count wise, it shouldn't be bigger size wise, but definitely a little bit easier on the eyes. So this is again 50 by 50, which is one of the standard sizes for the square images. And so with 11 count, 50 by 50, this one is going to have a little less detail. But I kind of wanted to test out an 11 count, because so far I've done 14 counts. So that's what this one was all about, is to see what the detail level looks like on an 11 count. So this is also 50 colors. So I could do this as well with a joining in the SAL kind of off to the side, or with my own random number generator here. So this is how the image is going to come out on 11 count. So there is the pixel image. Looks pretty clear. I can see the dolphins here swimming in the water. These are a little bit fuzzy, but they are just, they're not highly detailed on this image either. There you can see they're just, because this is AI art, you don't have necessarily true to form coral. You have the AI interpretation of what a coral reef looks like. So that's why you got a lot of circles here, a lot of spheres, and some creatures that don't necessarily look quite like a creature. So we got a shadow of a fish back here, 3 dolphins, and the coral on the coral reef. So this one does have only 6 pages on it, so it won't take nearly as long because the stitch count will be a lot lower. We do have 50 colors, and starting at color 34 is where the blends start. So let's take a look here. And this one also came with a toolkit. I must have missed clicking on that. So again, we got a toolkit here with all the goodies and another hoop. I'm gonna have to frame, I like to frame things in these, so I'm gonna have to frame something in one of those. But because they are plastic hoop instead of wood, they do hold your fabric a little bit tighter, so I do like those. So here are our colors. Again, we've got all the blends here. A lot of blue expected on this one, blues and blue greens for the ocean scenes, and then little spots of red and purple mixed in there for the coral reef. So let's see. So this one is only $2.15 for the stitch count versus say one of these, I don't remember the number there, which is $2.75. So they are the same size, it's just that the number of stitches per inch is smaller, so the number of stitches will be smaller. So if you want something that's a little bit easier to tackle, you can try the 11 count. So there you can see, it looks pretty straightforward. There are some large areas here, but also little bits of confetti there in the coral reef, but not that bad. But it is definitely printed darker as well. So if your eyes are like mine, that have seen a few years on them and have some troubles, then 11 count looks like a really good way to go, because I can definitely tell all those symbols, many of them even from a distance. So just like the other one, you do have the key here, but it's printed much larger there. So the border on this is about the same, and this is really thick Ida cloth, so this is really good quality there. I can zoom in and see. So this is good Ida cloth. I think my next order, again, I've talked about it with Painting Fairy, but it's gonna have to be an 18 or 20 count to see what those are actually like. But I don't want to spend too much money on an 18 or 20 count just in case it doesn't work out for me. I'd have to find another home for it, maybe with my sister, because her eyes do work a little bit better than me. Not great, but better than me. But look at that. Really clear print, and definitely large areas of single colors there, color blocking as we call it in diamond painting world. So this one, that's pretty close to a diamond painting size as well as a 50 by 50 diamond painting. So again, I do like that on the second page there, you do get the pixel art version, so you can get a feel for how it's actually going to look when you're done. Because sometimes with AI art, it's hard to tell, especially if there's a lot of like black outlining and stuff. You may think it's going to have more detail than it does. But over time, if you work at it a little bit, of course, as a content creator, I do buy and get more opportunities to test out different images to see how they render. So I kind of have a pretty good idea for how things are going to render. So I'm happy with this one, even at 11 count. I think it's going to turn out just fine. So that's my Wattobizz order. Like I said, just have a little bit of patience with the website part of it. You'll figure it out. Just click around, and also check out their crochet stuff, diamond painting. It is, though, just one person running the show, so be patient if things seem to take a little bit. She places orders. She collects all the orders and puts them into her factory every so often, and then they make them, ship them to Canada, and then she ships them to you after she checks through them. So there is a little bit more time because you do have a middle person there instead of buying straight from China. But I think you get really good quality books, you get nice toolkits, And you do get some really pretty rainbow colorful images. So check out some of the images that she has available and join her Facebook group, and you'll see a lot showing up there. Now, the one purchase that I have that's still outstanding, I thought I'd try just one auction. So I did buy just one design on her auction in July. It was another ocean theme, but I haven't gotten it yet. But those prices are actually really good for the auction. So she'll, I believe Sinette from Stitcherella will help out and post some of the images. So she starts, it's like 2 or 3 days over the weekend, and they'll post images through the day during the daytime. And if you see something you like, you can bid on it, and if somebody outbids you, then you get a chance. They'll tag you to let you know, and you get a chance to bid. But usually they start maybe $35 or $40, and usually they end there, and some of the images end up without a bid on them. But that also tells her what's popular, what people like, and everything. So I did place an order for one of the auctions that I did win. I wanted to just go through the process and try it out so I could tell you about it. So that one should be coming. She will invoice you right after the auction, and you have just like a couple days to get your payment in, and then she puts the order in. So if you take your time or you're not available to make the payment right away, then you will miss your opportunity on that image, because she does need to keep the ball rolling and keep things going. So she will order them sometime within the week after the auction ends. So I did not participate in the one that just happened last weekend because I had enough to keep me busy for a while, and I knew I had these. But we'll see how the auction image goes after it comes in. But I like that you get bags to keep everything in. You get a really good print, you get nice fabric, you get a really good booklet, and then you get a really nice toolkit here with everything you could ever need. So check them out, see what you think. And I will try to keep you guys updated a little bit with how my stitch along goes, but you can also watch, even if you're not joining in, you can join the Wattobizz Stitch Along Facebook group. I'll try to link both the main Wattobizz website, the Facebook group, and then the Stitch Along. And I think the auction may be a separate thing. It's at least a separate chat as well. So I'll link what I can find down there. I'm not an expert on Wattobizz because I am not an affiliate. I don't have any discount codes. I'm not getting any special deals or anything. I am just a customer. So thank you for watching, and thank you for continuing to support my channel, and have a good week, and I will see you next time.